Hi, welcome to the Faith and Wellness Sista. I'm so glad that you clicked on this video. Today, I thought we could talk about how to stay consistent and how I've managed to stay consistent with my weight training and my strength training journey. So, I have mentioned before, but I only got into strength training in 2020. I have always loved exercise and loved how it felt mentally for me and how it always felt like a deposit of energy into my body and into my mind and into my spirit. But I hadn't really ever done a lot of weightlifting. I'd done a lot of cardio, a lot of running. When I was in school, I did swimming, I did hockey, I did all the sports, but I still did quite a bit of running. I would run most mornings with my mother, and then when my mom stopped running with me in the mornings, I would run on my own. So I have always been someone that loves running and loves cardio and how it makes me feel. So when I was an adult, then I did join, I had gym memberships on and off for years. And when I would go to gym, I would mainly do cardio. I would swim and I would do the Stairmaster or I would do the treadmill. And that's what I did on and off for years when I had a gym membership. And when I didn't have a gym membership, then I just would run. That was my form of exercise. Fast forward to 2020, my husband and I both have gym memberships. My husband, whenever we go to the gym, he is telling me, you need to do some strength training. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do strength training because I don't want to get bulky. I don't want to look like a man. And the poor man, tried to explain to me about, lean muscle, about what strength training actually does for your muscle strength, why it's important, muscle currency, and all of that. And I did not understand it. Anyway, 2020 happens, and I am forced to work out at home. Then I basically Google, or maybe I went on YouTube or Pinterest or something and checked for, searched for home workouts, and MadFit came up. Excuse me. And then I started following MadFit's workouts, and I did that for the most of 2020. I followed MadFit, and I thoroughly enjoyed her workouts. Um, for back then, I only did body weight training, so I didn't incorporate dumbbells or anything like that. We had a set of 2.5 kilogram dumbbells in the house, and my husband had purchased, against my, will, he had purchased, I think, like a barbell and some plates, and then he'd purchased two sets of dumbbells, so two sets of heavier dumbbells. So we had like a good collection of dumbbells for someone that was starting out. So at the end of 2020, starting 2021, I then discovered Heather Robertson, and then I started following her workouts, and also on YouTube. But remember, in 2020, my biggest mission was actually to lose some weight because I felt that I had picked up some unhealthy weight and I wanted to get back on, just shed a little bit of weight because I wasn't feeling that comfortable in my own body. So I then started, looking up um, basically workouts that would help me to lose weight. And strength training kept coming up. And this was months and months that strength training and weightlifting was coming up, that I was just not budging because I was like, I'm not using heavier weights. I am good with just, my lighter weights. So anyway, eventually when I started following Heather Robertson, I started using slightly heavier weights, the slightly heavier weights that my husband had purchased. And I really started to feel a little bit stronger. I started to feel a little bit stronger. I started to get more comfortable using weights, but I was also still running. I was still running quite a bit. I was doing, running almost every day. I would do between 5 and 15, sometimes up to 20 kilometers of running per day. And when I came back, then I would do strength training. And my husband would say, it would probably be better to do strength training first and then you run. And I was like, why? Like I used to love, like, the sweating, the shortness of breath that I would get from running. And I didn't think that, weight training could do that. But when I started with Heather Robertson, I actually discovered that, I could get in a really good sweat with her style of workouts. And she did include a little bit of cardio in her workouts as well. So then I was doing the running and I was doing the strength training after. Then I actually started to, reduce the amount of running that I was doing. So I was running maybe once or twice a week and I was doing strength training the rest of the time. So, and then I started to just feel better and better and better. Okay. And I started to feel stronger. And then I discovered Caroline Gervin, and that, she's been my go to for home workouts since then. I think that was like, 2022 that I really got into Caroline Gervin, and I've seen the most incredible changes in my body. So I think that for me, what has helped me to stay consistent with my workout routine, number one, is that I do it first thing in the morning before the rest of my family wake up. So I get up between 5 and 5:15, and the first thing I do is I put on my gym clothes, and then I go and I spend my quiet time with God, and then I do my workout. And that is just how my mornings have been for the longest time. And when I used to go to gym, I would get up, spend my quiet time with God, and then I would head out to gym. So that hasn't changed in terms of that is the routine. The workouts themselves have changed, but that has been like that for many, many years. So I get up, I do my quiet time, I spend my time with God, and then I do my workouts. That is the first thing that I do. And I feel like making that time to pour into myself spiritually and to pour into myself physically is so important for my mental health. And that's why I always say, like, I believe the three are so closely intertwined and so important. And for me, whenever I feel down in my, like whenever I feel like a bit of depression or anxiety coming on, working out or moving my body, whether it's a run, a walk, strength training, whatever it is, really helps reduce that anxiety and that depression. And of course, I've said this before, I don't struggle with severe depression, so I can't actually speak to someone that is, that struggles severely with depression. I'm just speaking for myself from a place of I do have mornings or days where I just don't feel like myself. My mood is very low, and this is what helps me. So, what helps me to stay consistent is that it's the first thing that I do every morning. Number two, it's that it's something that I do for myself, but that enables me to show up better for those I love, and it helps me show up better in all the different areas that I need to show up in a day. So I need to show up as a mother, I need to show up as a wife, I need to show up as an employee, I need to show up as a daughter, I need to show up as a friend, I need to show up as a colleague. Working out in the morning helps me be able to pour into all those different areas of my life that I need to pour into. Okay. And when I don't do that, I can feel it. I can feel that I am maybe not as patient as what I would like to be, and my energy levels are not what I would like them to be. So it is very, very important for me. Okay. Number three is that I've committed myself to working out between 3 and 5 times a week. That is what I've committed myself to. Okay. So three being the minimum and 5 to 6 being the maximum. I do generally do 4 being the average. On average, I work out 4 times a week, and I'm quite happy with that. But sometimes I do work out 5 times a week. And when I throw in a run on the weekend, then that makes it 6 times a week. So For me, it's important that I've committed that I will do 3 to 5 days a week. The only time that I don't do that much is if I'm away traveling. This year, I was blessed to be able to go on a trip with my husband to America where I didn't have all my weights with me. And so I couldn't do, the normal amount of workouts that I would like to do, or the normal amount of weight training that I would like to do. But I was able to actually go to a gym with a friend of ours over there one day. And then for the most part, my husband and I did actually manage to get in a lot of steps just walking and doing touristy things, which was great because it didn't feel like I was doing absolutely nothing, for 21, 25 days or however long it was that we were there. So that's something that's quite important to me. Okay. But when I give myself downtime, it's okay. Like, I'm not going to beat myself up about about that. So number one is that I do it first thing in the morning. Number two, it is that I've committed myself to anything between 3 and 5 days. So when I fall short, I do three. And when I'm really excelling, I will do 5 days a week. The third thing is I love how strength training makes me feel. I actually enjoy it. I love the mental clarity. I love the spiritual connection. I love the mind to muscle connection that I feel. I love, all the different aspects that come with it. So it is a workout that I enjoy. Okay. It is important that you find a workout that you enjoy so that you are able to commit to it. If you are going to Pilates every day, but you don't enjoy it, if you're forcing yourself to commit to Pilates every day, but you don't enjoy Pilates, the chances of you showing up for yourself every day are going to be very, very slim. So find an exercise that you enjoy. Some people enjoy dancing, so find a good dancing studio and join that. Some people enjoy um, aerobic exercises. Some people, whatever it is that you enjoy, find the thing that you enjoy and commit yourself to that thing. Because remember, in order to be consistent, you need to enjoy it. You need to be able to show up for yourself in that way. Number four is that, sorry, just back to number one, where I said I do it first thing in the morning. Find a time that's going to work for you. Find a time that's going to work best for you. For me, the mornings while the house is quiet is great because as a mom, I sometimes feel very guilty when I work out, and it is time that I could be spending with my family or time doing other things. And that's just me personally. Maybe you don't feel that way. So find a time that works for you. If the mornings work for you, great. If the evening work better for you, great. If you work from home and maybe during the day works for you, great. Do that. But find a time that you can commit to. Okay. Because that's also really, really important. So, number one, I do it first thing in the morning because that is the time that I can commit to and it helps me show up better in the rest of my day. Number two, I've committed myself to 3 to 5 days a week. So that is what I do. Number three, find a workout that suits you, that works for you, that you can commit yourself to. Because remember, you're only going to be able to see results in what you are consistent with. Number four, I want to encourage you to try and include strength training. Whatever exercise you do that you enjoy, I want to encourage you to try and include strength training at least, even if it's once or twice a week. I was watching a one of the YouTubers that I really look up to when it comes to strength training and building muscle, and he was saying that with 2 days a week, you will be able to see some results. Okay. But obviously you'll need to give it time. That's the thing again with weight training is that it takes time. You cannot rush it. You cannot rush the results. And, I did have some periods on my strength training journey where I did feel a little bit frustrated in terms of why am I not seeing, the results fast enough in my body? Even though I was feeling better mentally and I was feeling better in how I was moving my body, like it felt more functional, but I wasn't seeing like the toned muscles. I wasn't seeing like, my quads growing. I wasn't seeing any of that, but that took time. And And honestly, now I'm so grateful for where I find myself physically in the way that my body looks. Okay. Number five, set goals for yourself that are bigger than just looking great. Okay. It is great to look great. So, number five, basically, what I want to say is for me, I had to decide why I work out. I started working out because, when I was a kid, I mean, when I was 12, 13, I started working out or started getting involved in exercising and running and swimming and all of that because I liked how it made me feel mentally. And it's incredible how God brought exercise into my life. And it has been a consistent thing, a consistent part of my life for, literally like over 30 years. And I'm so grateful for that. Maybe not over 30 years, but close to 30 years. Um, I'm so grateful for that. And that's why I'm so grateful to be able to share on this platform what exercise means to me and what exercise has done for me in the many, many ways in my life, not just for the strength I feel physically, but for the strength I feel mentally as well. So, for me it was eventually in 2020, 2021, 2022, when I was thinking about really going full on with strength training and weightlifting. What is it that I'm wanting to achieve? What are my intentions for wanting to commit to 3 to 5 days of working out? What am I trying to achieve and why? You know, do I just want to look great? Is it just for aesthetic reasons? Great. If that's that, own it. Go with that. Be honest about it because that's what's going to keep you going. Then you're going to align everything else with that. But for me, it started off as I want to get lean, but it became I want to get strong. I love to this day feeling strong. I love how strong I feel. I love how strong I look. And the aesthetic side of it is really just a bonus. It's an added bonus for me. Okay. And number six, how I've been able to remain consistent on my weightlifting and training journey and fitness journey is that I want to be here for a long time. But more than I want to be on earth for a long time, I want to enjoy my time on the side of eternity. I want to show up as best possible for my family, for those that I love. And I know, my kids are still fairly young for me to be speaking about and um, looking at being a grandparent. But one day I want to be a grandparent that is able to run around with my grandchildren and enjoy that time with them. I was blessed to be raised by my great grandmother, who was quite an old lady by the time that I came into this world, but she was such a firework. She was so full of energy. My great grandmother and I would walk to church. We would walk to the river together to get water. We would walk to gather wood for the fire. We would walk to visit friends and family. She would get on the bus with me. She would walk me to school when I started school at 5 years old. My great grandmother was so strong. And that's why I say, like, it's also so important for me to model health and strength physically to my children as well, because I feel like my great grandmother modeled that for me. She modeled that for me in how she was able to do so much physically at her age, but she also modeled healthy eating for me. I mean, yes, we didn't have, um, you know, um, a large amount of money to spend on food. So we ate a lot of foods from the earth. We would grow millies, we would grow sweet potatoes, we would grow spinach, we would grow beans. And she would make the most delicious, nutrient dense meals for us. And every now and then we could have a little bit of fish. Maybe once a month we could have a little bit of chicken. But I never felt like I lacked anything because what she made was so wholesome, so healthy, and so it's so important for me that I'm modeling what healthy living looks like to my children as well. And those are all the reasons why I work out. And I hope that you have found a little bit of encouragement in having watched this full body workout of mine. One last thing that I want to say is just start. If getting fitter and stronger and healthier this year is something on your heart, just start. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Nothing has to be perfect. You don't have to have the perfect workout space. You don't have to have a gym membership. You don't have to have the perfect running shoes. Start where you are. Start with what you have. You'll be further along this time next year if you just start.